All right, it's Robert Phoenix, and we are back once again with the Astro Weather. Let me see. I got to get my right microphone dialed in. Oh, come on. Damn. Okay, so for whatever reason, hold on. We're going to have to re-engage here with the. So StreamYard has been really, really glitchy as of late. Let me see if I can. It's not even picking up my mic. Hold on here. I apologize for this. Let's try this again. Here we go. It will not. All right, so I'm going to have to go with the old earbuds here. And hopefully it will. It's going to work. This is really a disappointment, I got to say. All right, here we go. All right, so we're going to go with this today. It's not ideal, but we're going to make it work. Look who's here. Oh, yeah. He's back on the case. It's the Astro Cat. Look at him. Look at him. Look at him. The comeback kid. Yeah, that's right. You were hiding out under the bed last week. You were so sick. Yeah, you weren't doing well. Yeah, you're up to the fighting weight now. Yeah. All right. There you go. A little proof of life with Jasper. Okay. Let's do a quick roll call. DGMC, there he is. Miguel, what's going on? Debisu, Diane Evans, awake in the middle of the night. That's early to do. Speaking of early, Janice checked in at 6:30. Barbara Boots, only for today. I'll be participating in my first dance competition this year. Only doing one of 3 days, but I'm sure I will be sore afterwards. Barbara is a heck of a dancer. You should have seen her at our event, man. She was outclassing everybody on the dance floor. Devin Doerr, hello from the Atlantic Ocean side. All right. Atlantis Rising. Hi, Devin. California Contrarian. KK, what's up? Jackie Delario. It's always a beautiful day in Jackie's world. Mary Lee's here. How you doing, Mary Lee? Yeah, we got a lot more rainage, ruidosa. Some of you might know Wit in chat, and Wit is in ruidosa. I texted him yesterday, and he seems to be okay. He's not in the floodplain, but I'm going to talk more about this radical weather. We're going to call it radical weather. I'll talk more about it over on 15. Sweet Woodruff, what's up, Sweets? How are you? I hope you're connecting with your peeps down here. And the stories, man. Stories keep coming in. Healing Heart Rosie, she's in her happy place. We're giving the raspberry patch. Tom's here. Hello, Tom. Guy Dance from New Zealand, thank you for thinking of the flooding. Hey, was she into psychodrama? Yes, she was into psychodrama. And it was that guy, Jay Barham, this weird medium channel that she'd hooked up with, and she'd bought, I think, around 40 acres in Escondido to have some kind of weird alternative healing medium center. I don't know. It cost Elizabeth Kubler-Ross her marriage. It was really, in a lot of ways, a bad blemish on her life. Anyway, Brandy Herrera's here. Beth Berry's here. Double B. Yes, hit that like and notification. Smash it, smash it, smash it, smash it, smash it. Misbehaving 2. Hi, Janine. Janine's here. There's Ryan. Ryan, the lovely and talented one. You got the local scene. That's it. Thank you, Ryan. Appreciate that. Let's see. PB. What's up, PB? Lisa Ann White. She's with us. The Soul Traveler's here. Yes, you buy me, yours truly, a cup of coffee there. Thank you very much. Like to keep the coffee flowing around these places and spaces. Stephanie Hunter. Hello, Stephanie. Grant. I, Grant. Dave Sullivan. What's up, Dave? Sharon Lewis. What's the buzz? What's happening? What's not happening? Jesus. Thor at the doors here. What's going on, Mayor Steve? Lois Francis. That sounds like a name of an actress from the 1970s. Tonight on Canon, starring William Conrad, Lois Francis as Amy. Green Eyed Crow, right on time. Ah, yes, we're going to get into it. A lot. I got a lot to talk about. Hi to us, 99. Thank you very much. I appreciate what you do as well. Bringing beauty and joy and peace. Hi to us, 99 is a man of beauty, joy, and peace. Hammer time. She's in the SoCal desert. Nice. Nice place to be, especially in the morning. Gabriella Joy. What's up, Gabriella? It's Gabriella J, not Joy. Gotta do a couple of blinks. Kelly B. Neil Smith. Greetings from America's Vacation Land. Neil was involved in some very interesting sweaty Skinner box therapy the other day. He sent me some pictures. It looked like he was starting a cult. You know, Neil is a Taurus, and Tauruses have a penchant to do that. Jim Jones is a Taurus. They're very interesting pictures. I think we got to keep our eye on Neil. Butane Lucifer, what's going on? More flooding. Yes, Ruidosa. That's right, Tom. Sounds fun, to be honest. Lori, hey, Laura, I forgot to mention, happy birthday. Happy belated birthday, Lori. I hope you're going to have a good turn around the sun this year. Very auspicious. It's an auspicious birthday. Cats are good. I got some good cats, man. Let me tell you. I don't know where the hell Peachy is, though. We got this new thing called Squirrel TV. I may just hook it up. We have Squirrel TV. Put the put this table up against. I'm in a sunroom, so I can see everything. And we put the table up against one of the big panes of glass in the sunroom. We put a bunch of sunflower seeds, and the squirrels are coming over there, and they're absolutely feasting on these sunflower seeds. And the cats, they're having a great time watching Squirrel TV. Oh, yes, astrology readings. That's what I do. Thank you, Ryan. Sandra D is here. Hi, Sandra D. The lovely and talented one with the little Jasper graphic. Yes, Tom, it's been said, but we'll say it again. Thank you, Tom. Hit like and subscribe. It's the Noel way. Yes. Laura Bush was a counselor at Camp Mystic. That's right. It is the Daughters of the Texan Elite. You know, I read this story yesterday. I'm just gonna I'm going to just show it here really quickly. It's a very, very, very long story. Really, I read the whole thing, and it was from 2011. Texas, it's the Texas Monthly. I'm just going to just show this quickly here for you guys to see. Of course, I'll probably have to stop share and all this other bullshit, which is now an issue with streaming. Oh, look at that. They got that right. So this is Not So Happy Campers. And it's a very, very interesting look at this is what Camp Mystic, the banks of Camp Mystic, the idyllic Camp Mystic, looks like. And there's this massive legal battle that went on. And this is like the dining hall for Camp Mystic. And there's this massive legal battle that went on with members of the family. Tweety, Dick, and James Eastland. And it gets really, really heavy. Very, very heavy. This is Stacy Eastland. So this is infighting in the family. And this is what the Placid Guadalupe. It's idyllic down here. I'm telling you, it's totally idyllic. And so what happened was this part of the family, these two people who were running the camp. Everybody loves Tweety's cookies. They love Tweety's cookies. That's Tweety, by the way. And these people basically restructured everything so that they could actually make more money, do what people do with their nonprofits and businesses. And it just got to become a game of family feud and greed. So, and Laura Bush, kind of a nasty piece of work. Leanne Hott. Hi, Leanne. Boudica Rising. Hello. Boudica, 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 Boudica. Everyone wants to go twice. Boudica Rising. Green Eyed Crow. Thanks for the number. Like 30. Harry Bowie. Hey, hey, hey. Elena Winkler's here. Monsoon season isn't setting up here in the mountains. They cloud seed here. So why aren't they adding needed moisture? You can have some of ours, although we're probably done now. Famous last words. Mary Greth. Hi, Mary. Lepetius Maya Rose. Yes, we got some volcano action. Mount Rainier is a rumbling, rumbling, rumbling. Chat is having with all these folks. Yes, we have a great, great crew in here. Scrubbies with the name check. Nicole DePaulo. Hello, Nicole. I love how Scrubbies just includes everybody. It's so cool. Desley Logging. I love to hear you and David stay in contact. Your work is so helpful. Makes a strong weekend. Yeah, David and I, we text a couple times a week. He's busy now. He's got a new baby, and they took the baby out, Asher, and boy, his little girl, she's a force of nature, man. I'm about to change my name to Gabriella Joy, and hope it manifests. Saying, hey, why not? Because. Hi, Christine Mose. Let's see. Everybody else? Anyone else? Glitches in the show. StreamYard has not been the best, Janine. I'm just saying. Has not been the best. I don't need to start a cult. I am a cult. I cult, therefore I am. There you go, Neil. These pictures, I don't know. Neil was needing some psychodrama in that room. I'm telling you right now. I bet after all this flooding, there will be some fire action now. Usually what happens is that there's the fire, then the flood. Just my experience in California. It's just my experience, because what happens in California is they have the fires, the landscape gets denuded, and then the floods come because there's no trees, and then you get mudslides. But you never know, Lisa. You never know. We do have the first opposition of the sun, Pluto, in Leo coming up in Leo season. That is the very first Sun Pluto opposition happening under Pluto in Aquarius. So we're keeping our eyes on that. What is this squirrel doing? He's doing like a dance now. He's doing a dance. You're doing a dance. I gotta get a squirrel cam. Let's see. Anybody else? Anybody else? Squirrel TV. It's like Max Headroom glitches. Yeah, like that. Laura Bush before, after Joe brings. Do you guys know this story? Oh my God! So when Laura Bush was what, a teenager, I guess her boyfriend had broken up with her, and he was walking across the street at an intersection, and Laura Bush happened to be in the car that was at this. I'm not sure if it was a stop sign or a stoplight. Anyway, she hit the accelerator as he crossed the path of the car, hits him, and the guy dies. That's Laura Bush. That's your camp counselor right there. Hadidas 99 is a woman hippie chick. We don't discriminate around here, women or hippies or chicks. You're still a divine being. Let's see. The river looks so beautiful. I know, absolutely. But thank you, Hadidas 99 for the reminder. Let's see. Who else? Illuminati confirmed SRA not far behind. Um, yeah, the more you look at Camp Mystic, the weirder it gets, right? And there's even something about the name. It's supposed to be Christian, but Christians don't really believe in mysticism. They're not into it. Now, Catholics, on the other hand, have a back door to mysticism, but not Christians. Hi, Matt Burns. Meow meow kitty poop. His daughter, exactly how my Leo lady was, but she's nearly 9 now. Oh, well, you got a Pluto in Capricorn. Cassandra Lynn, hello. Hey, we got Elizabeth Donnell sighting. Now, I wonder why Elizabeth never went to Camp Mystic. Elizabeth, you would have been a prime candidate. A prime candidate, an upstanding River Oaks gal, spending a month at Camp Mystic. That is not Elizabeth's speed, by the way. I'm talking intentional fires being started, high fire danger here now. Wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me. I'm not sure it would be in the flood areas, but maybe in other parts of the country. Why not? Chaos. Hey, there he is. He's in. Wits entropy. Rudosa got really hammered. Yeah, we saw pictures of that. So you got some internet there, Wit. Thanks for checking in with us. Oh my God, she killed her boyfriend? Yeah, she killed her fucking boyfriend. She slammed on the accelerator. You know what she did? She did what Jerry Lee Lewis wanted to do with Liberace. Jerry Lee Lewis wanted to kill Liberace. I think it was in Vegas. And Liberace was crossing the street and Jerry Lee Lewis was in his car. And his buddy tells the story. He goes, look, it's Liberace. And Jerry Lee Lewis actually thought about hitting the accelerator and taking Liberace out. And Jerry Lee Lewis would have. But guess what? Laura Bush has a bigger set of balls than Jerry Lee Lewis. Let's see. In Vermont, people worried about flooding since the last 2 years. Nothing is what it seems anymore. Nothing. Scrubbies is a badass. Total badass. How many of us have had that fantasy? Come on, be honest. Vroom, vroom. I've had some bizarre fantasies, but not vroom. One of my fantasies, I used to drive this area in California called Devil's Slide, and it was a very, very circuitous road that went alongside the Pacific Ocean. And I can't tell you how many times I had a fantasy of just turning my wheel and driving right off a Devil's Slide. I mean, I had that fantasy quite a bit. Almost had to fight it back. Almost had to fight the wheel back. But Christine, I get it. Integrity Karma's here. Let's see. I read yesterday all their files were digitally wiped just before the flood. You know, there's a lot of speculation, and that could be true. I think we've become like conspiracy horny. It's like we become addicted to conspiracy porn. But that could be true. Let's see. Went to co-ed camp called Balcony Springs. Ah, that's a better, more integrated version. There you go. We should have a T-shirt: "Best camp counselor" with a pick stick figure being run over. That's pretty funny, Lois. Christians versus Catholics, although those even they can, but it's so Petticoat Junction. Yes, most Texas is a floodplain draining towards the Gulf. That's right. Hi, SL Sully. We're doing a long, extended intro today. People are going to hate me for this. How did the end of the hills do after the flood? Still standing. Uh, Two sources said a bus took those 27 girls out of there a few hours before the flood. Hmm. Interesting. Very interesting. Very interesting. It was an accident, Robert. Great balls of fire she had. Yes. Green Eyed Crow, I love it. You guys are on today. I got to put that up there. You guys are on. My dad loves Jerry Lee Lewis. Jerry Lee Lewis was a wild man, man. He was a wild man. Jerry was stripped from homicide because he had a young cousin to live for him. Steve, Steve, wit, the wit. Happy you chose not to drive off that road. I've had it. I've had it. I had those. Wait, well, a conspiracy under every rock turning out. Yes, conspiracy porn. But it's true. Barbara's right because the mainstream news has been such a tool throttling suppression for all these years. It's true. The weather will become more violent. Yes, I agree with that. Is there a dumb underneath there? I got a screenshot of a map. I don't know. Kelly B, this is a good one. Her foot slipped off the brakes. You guys are so fucking funny. You are funny. All right, let's do some weather. Thank you for indulging me today. Oh, I needed a good laugh. Everybody needs a good laugh. All right. It's time for the weather. I have a Wang Chung song on my head. Those guys were pretty catchy. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Everybody have fun tonight. Leo rising on the sun tonight. Today. Here we go. Leo rising. Rise, rise, rise. Stretch and rise. Where the hell is Peachy, speaking of stretching and rising? We don't know. We have Mercury here in Leo. It's the first Mercury-Pluto opposition, which I should have notated 10 degrees off of Pluto. Now it's going to be out of that. But it's going to go retrograde, isn't it? That'll be fun. It's going to be an interesting time. That is going to be a hell of a time. That Mercury retrograde, Pluto retrograde. Oh my God, the shit that they're going to find. The shit they're going to find. It's going to be interesting. Well, look at this. Look at this. Look at this. And I'm not even talking bodies. I'm talking about, oh, well, you said this didn't exist. Huh. What about this and this? We're kind of in a critical phase right now. Did you see what Trump did yesterday with the flat out denial? So there's so many great things happening, and my God, what about Texas? It's like he was using, in that press conference, Trump was using Texas as a human shield. That's what he was doing. He was using Texas as a human shield. Please, we'll talk more about that. I can't wait for Mercury to go retrograde opposite Pluto. I think this is pretty safe to announce, if I'm not mistaken. I will. Our friend, quite frankly, is having a gathering in September, and it is, I believe, the weekend of the 6th. It's a 2-day event, and I am going to be there, hanging out with the Franklies. So if you're in the Westchester Rye area of New York, keep your eyes posted on some announcements from Frank's World. And I guess there's going to be a bunch of other Frankly people, and I'm going to be one of them. So if you can't make it to the bridge and you're on the East Coast, and the bridge happens, of course, about a month later, I will be out there in Westchester, Rye, wherever Frank is, upstate New York. There it is. We're finally getting some separation. Have been for a while, but today it's official. We're way out. We're outside the orb here. The sun is at 17, and Jupiter is behind the sun. Let's just talk about this for a second. Jupiter is usually it's considered to be fortunate, beneficent. It is the large, smiling, guffawing god, and so it's an interesting position for Jupiter, and it's going to be behind the sun for a while, right? Because the sun just moves on forward, and Jupiter is not as fast as the sun. So it's almost like we're going to have an entire sun cycle before Jupiter moves. So we're going to literally have to wait until next year when the sun is in Gemini and Jupiter's in front of the sun. So that's a really interesting position. Let's not get into the T squared today. We will, but not right now. So if Jupiter is considered beneficent, blessings, et cetera, yada yada yada. They're ones that are not going to hit you directly, but they'll come out of nowhere. It's sort of like the miracle when you need it. And once Jupiter begins to finally separate from Saturn, because we've been in this Jupiter-Saturn square for what, an entire Jupiter cycle, when Saturn was in Pisces and Jupiter is in Gemini, and we've been dealing with wanting to expand and watching our budget, wanting to expand and watching our budget and saying, fuck it, I'm going to spend. And and then you regret the spending, or I'm not going to spend, and I'm not going to spend, and then of course you regret not spending. Like, it's been a really tough time. But if you have practiced a modicum of fiscal restraint, then you've been able to kind of spend where you need it. I had to, this last Jupiter Saturn cycle, I had to spend. I had to spend mostly on water related. Hello, Saturn and Pisces going through my fourth house, water related stuff. I had to redo the septic in the back. I had leakage out front. So that's where a considerable amount of resources, Jupiter resources, went to. And once Jupiter begins to separate, we may actually have some movement on the housing market. Believe it or not, this is what I've been looking at, and I get a lot of flack for this. People will say, "Well, it's not the interest; it is the interest rates." I'm sorry, it is the interest rates. You lower the interest rate by a percentage, and banks are going to go, "Oh, yeah, well, let's up some of these loans because people a percentage rate on a loan for a mortgage in somebody's brain it means something, right? There are like four houses on my street, one house on the other side of the behind me, all for sale. They've been for sale for months, 4 months, 5 months, no action whatsoever. And I'm going to put it in quotes. Could. I don't like doing that. I don't like doing it. I don't like the couch, but I feel like it's a transit that finally Jupiter breaks free, and it's in Cancer, and it is around the home. It has to do with homes, has to do with values, has to do with all the stuff that we love and cherish about the sign of Cancer. Um, it's really interesting. These cycles with Cancer, they're a trip, man. Anyway, so it's the blessing behind the scenes. It's the angel arriving at the 11th hour. And I got a bird hanging out in one of the chairs. He's just like hanging out in a chair back here. He's like camped out. These animals are a trip. That's Jupiter. It's the blessing behind the scenes. So ye of little faith, those of you who may travail through the darkest hours of your night before the dawn, have no fear. Jupiter is here, although you just can't see it. We have the lovely moon in Capricorn opposing the moon, Jupiter in Cancer. Oh boy, I, to me, this is if you're a grandmother or grandfather, this is given into a sweet tooth hour. Don't tell your mother. Shh, don't tell your mother I'm giving you this, okay? It's our little secret. What are these things called? They're called Twinkies. You're going to love it. It's not that extreme. Twinkies are like crack, man. Just ask Dan White. In the golden days of lunchtime, my mother used to put like those Hostess pastries in my lunch. No wonder I was such a fucking fat kid. Looking back on it, here you go. Here's your daily dose of Twinkies. Here's your daily dose of ding dongs. Here's your daily dose of ho hos. Here's your fruit pie. I got all that shit. But who didn't love it? But that's kind of what we're looking at here. Today's one of those days of indulgence. And it may even be you who wants some kind of sweet and temporary shelter from the storm. I can see this. I can see some, how would I describe it? I wouldn't call it therapeutic, but indulgence. Oh, life's too tough right now. Oh, I'm gonna pass the Krispy Kreme on the way to the dry cleaners. I just one for old time's sake. I mean, that's kind of just on a personal level, comfort level. We're seeking comfort today. That's what's happening. This Moon Jupiter opposition, Moon squaring Neptune, Jupiter squaring. The people are seeking comfort. They're seeking shelter from the storm. I would not judge you. I would not judge you if you stopped at Krispy Kreme. I wouldn't judge you at all. Now, if you got a baker's dozen, I don't know. I still probably wouldn't judge you, but I would say you may want to rethink that. There is a general feeling of insecurity in the air. That Moon Neptune square, Jupiter opposition, where are things going? I'm telling you right now, once Uranus went into Gemini, the fucking world changed. Am I right? All of a sudden, Epstein who? Epstein who? Now, a lot of you don't go over to 15 minutes. A lot of you do. And I'm not trying to guilt you into going to 15 minutes. But I do want to show you this thumbnail I did. I'm kind of proud. I was up late last night trying to figure out how to this is just a brief interlude here. This is the thumbnail for 15 minutes today. This one, because a lot of you don't go there, but I just want to show this. So this is, if you're going to Rumble, this is what you'd see today. Epstein, why? He's a dead creep. Of course, if you're paying attention, you'll see that, well, it's a little bit of a joke there. All right. This is what happened. All of a sudden, Epstein who? It's like, what reality are we living in? Uranus and Gemini comes along, and it's like, files? What files? List? There's no list. Killed himself. He was a creep. Move on. This is what happens. It's a look into the window. A look into the window of where all this is going. Memory hole. You're going to have a bunch of people walking around being all gaslit and shit. That's what's going to happen. And a general sense of crazy in the air. Am I crazy or what? You're going to go on to Google one of these days, and you're going to do a search for Jeffrey Epstein. None of it will be there. Search results. In fact, they'll have some, I don't know, some guy who works for, I don't know, Travelers Trust. Is Travelers Trust still a business? They'll have Jeffrey Epstein, uh, Senior East Coast Director, Travelers Trust. And they'll have a LinkedIn page. And that's what you get. It's like Uranus and Gemini, flip a switch. We're in a different world now. Bizarre, right? There's an instability. Mercury, Moon in Capricorn wants higher ground. Literally higher ground. Then we have the Neptune square coming in with the Moon. It's still, the soggy is not over. The SOG is not over. We're still dealing with the SOG. And the Moon in Capricorn, oh, it's so Spartan and austere, but today it is challenged. Maybe I'll just get one. I'll get one of the crullers. Still hearing first responders. And they are going off like fire alarms. Oh boy. Mars, Venus square. Want a little debate? That's some debate energy. But it's, it's 7 degrees. So we're going to be in this square for a while, especially Venus and Gemini. What about this? What about this? A lot of devil's advocate. It's a lot of, yeah, there's names there. There's a list too. There's no list. There's no names. Mars and Virgo. Oh, we got the receipts. We got video of Cash. We got video of Bongino. We got video of Bondi. We got video of them talking about it. We got a woman, Ghislaine Maxwell, who's in jail for child trafficking or trafficking, and yet there's no. I mean, make it make sense, please. This is where you get into this Mars, the Venus, and Gemini. Well, we got a new story. We got a new story. Mars and Virgo is like, whoa, 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 whoa. We got some receipts here. This is going to be an interesting. The next, I'm going to talk a lot more about this, but the next 48 hours until, of course, the next disaster comes in. The next distraction comes in. Venus is trining Pluto. This loyalty. Pam and Cash and Dan, boy, they have really demonstrated some very deep loyalty here to the president. We got an inconjunct with Venus and Uranus and the moon. People feel unsteady, a bit unstable today. Gee, I wonder fucking why. I wonder why. And I feel like this Jupiter Neptune square, very culty. It's the rose colored glasses. You know what it reminds me of? Uh, it reminds me of this story where this guy is going to hell. It's a joke. Some of you might know this joke. This guy is going to hell, and um, St. Peter is rejecting him. He's taking him to hell. And he says, Here, I'm going to give you a couple of options for hell. And the guy goes, okay. So the first place he takes him, it is extremely hot, right? It's like this kind of cliche, generalized version of this sulfuric hell, right? And people are like on this chain gang, and they got balls chained to their legs, and they're just there breaking rocks all the time. And then somebody comes over to give them some water, and then they go to drink the water, and there's nothing in the tin cup. And so they're consigned to fire and hell and sulfur for eternity. He's like, no thanks. I don't think you got anything else. He says, well, here's another version of hell. So he goes to this other version of hell, and it's not as hot and fiery and sulfuric, but people are emaciated and there's no food. So what do they have to do? They have to eat each other. So they eat each other, but then guess what? Their organs grow back. And so it's a constant, like, hell of starvation and cannibalism. And the guy goes, no, no, thank you. I don't want that. So then he goes to this third place, and these people are up to their waist in liquid shit, sitting around and they're drinking tea, and they're having a relatively uh, pleasant time. And so this guy thinks, oh, this is the lesser version of hell. He says, I just have to be up to my navel and shit and drink tea. I can do that. He says, I'll take this one. I'll go here. He says, okay, here you go. Welcome to hell. When your penance is over, we'll review things. So he goes in there, and he's getting ready to get his cup of tea, and all of a sudden, Beelzebub comes in and says, all right, tea break's over. Stand back on your heads. You get it, right? You get it. Like the tea break's over and they got to do a headstand and shit, waist high. That's the Jupiter Neptune square in a nutshell, right? You see these versions of hell, and it's like, oh, I'll take the one with the tea. When the tea break is over, I got to do a headstand. in this goopy pile of shit. So there you go. And that's kind of like there's going to be people who are going to spin this. Well, he's using this against the deep state. Okay. All right, let's get into our True Hemp Science Star of the day. Now, I don't know if I've done this one before. So stop me. Let's see. Christine liked that one. That's good. Tea time in hell. That's right. So yeah, our True Hemp Science Star of the day is none other than OJ. What's up, OJ? Of course, I wonder if OJ had been taking CBD at the time he conspired to have Nicole killed. If he would have done something different. If OJ Simpson had CBD, he probably wouldn't have. And I say the word conspired because there's a conspiracy there. He's part of it. He might have done something a bit different. So if you want to avoid killing your spouse, I highly recommend CBD. Not any CBD, your ex-spouse, but True Hemp Science CBD. This is the best stuff. Top of the shelf. Right here. Our guy Chris over at True Hemp Science, true alchemist. By the way, that has been quoted by people who have used this product, True Alchemist. And all you got to do is spend $100 or more, and you will get the goodie bag. Got to type in 15MINS on your order to get that goodie bag. You get some gummies, a little this, a little that. And $150 will get you free shipping, and there's always a 30-day money-back guarantee. Support America. This is America first. Don't get into that Chinese CBD. All right. I just love this. I love the fucking 70s color palette. Who misses this? I miss the 70s color palette. I didn't like it when the 80s went all fucking neon and tropical. There's a name for it. It's called Memphis something. There's an actual name for the style and color. I didn't like it. There she is. I like this. This is warm. It's inviting. I want to rent from Hertz. I want to race OJ to the car. That would be a futile attempt on my part. Let's take a look at this chart. He is fast. True note in Gemini, Mars in Gemini. That is speed, ladies and gentlemen. And he has Mars in the 10th house. He is known for his speed. He was a running back. He's known for running through airports. That is Gemini. He's a messenger of the gods, even though he's a Cancer. He is very Hermes-like. Who can't forget the race between O.J. Simpson and LeVar Burton on some beach? It's supposed to be Africa in the movie Roots. O.J. races Kunta Kinte. Remember that scene? Kunta Kinte, pretty fast. He's almost as fast as O.J. O.J. was very fast. O.J. was a world-class sprinter. He was on the USC NC2A 4x100 relay meter team that won the championship that year. One of the other runners was a guy by the name of Earl McCullough, who played wide receiver for the Detroit Lions. OJ had a better football career than Earl McCullough. OJ was an amazing football player. He was born in San Francisco, California, went to San Francisco City College for 2 years, went to the University of Southern California, where he raised a lot of hell. In addition to being a Heisman Trophy winner, an All-American, the first pick in the NFL draft, spent 2 years at USC. OJ was a problem. He had issues with women. Can you believe it? Saturn Pluto conjunction, 12th house. OJ, you never hear about OJ's father, do you? was raised by his mother. I believe he lived in the Western Addition in San Francisco. More than likely, OJ's father, Saturn Pluto, was in prison. Well, guess who else wound up in prison? The Juice, Saturn Pluto. And OJ had some problematic issues with women at USC. There are at least 2 to 3 incidents where some gals reported he'd been a little too aggressive, borderline, the R word. And those incidents were reported, and some of his buddies, who would go on to become his defense team, including Bobby Kardashian and some alumni, were able to keep him out of the hot seat. You can see where OJ's issues with women are. He has Venus here at 1 Cancer, and it's squaring his moon by degree in Pisces. And he's got this moon Uranus square. Ladies and gentlemen, that is impulse control. OJ's got some impulse control. And moon in the 8th house. Ooh, the underworld. And he's got a Venus Neptune square. So the man's going to be infidelitus. Let's just, he wants to, he wants to lay down wherever he wants to lay down. Venus Uranus conjunction, square Neptune, he'll justify it. He does have a grand trine in his chart, though. He's got Jupiter in Scorpio, moon right here, right there, boom. Right there in Pisces. Trining Mercury, trining the sun. He's got a grand water trine. OJ Simpson was able to navigate the waters of life based on talent, charm, charisma. Leo rising, we all know that he was also an actor. Who could forget him in the Leslie Nielsen movies, right? Where he was actually kind of funny. By the way, his relationship with Hertz stemmed from the fact that Nicole Simpson's father was a regional Hertz manager, meaning that he oversaw all of these Hertzes in Southern California. So OJ had it in with Nicole's dad, right? And look at that. You got the South Node down here in the 4th house in Sagittarius. OJ should never have been a family man. He wanted it, right? He's married a couple times. First wife was, I think she was black, and then of course Nicole. He went a 180. Like, he wanted a family life, but he shouldn't have had a family life. He should have just been single and just running through airports instead of running down the LA freeway. He wasn't even running. He was doing about 50 miles per hour with Al Callings, AC, his buddy. But he's got a lot of conflict in this chart. Chiron and Scorpio. Chiron Scorpio. I would go on record and say that OJ was probably molested by his father or a father figure in his life. That Saturn-Pluto conjunction in the 12th house is really, really complex. But he also has Mars, sextile Pluto, Mars, sextile Saturn. He made money off Mars. He made money off being an athlete. He made money off being a running back. And a lot of people who do not follow sports don't realize how gifted OJ Simpson was as a football player. He was incredible. The thing that separated, there were a couple things that made OJ great with football. Number one, speed. He was so fast. He was also very fluid in his hips, so he could change direction. And when he would change direction, he wouldn't lose speed. There are some players who, when they change direction, they can actually accelerate. OJ was one of those guys. And people asked him, well, what makes you so good? He says, I don't want to be tackled. I'm terrified of getting tackled. That's why I run so fast. There's probably some truth to that. But yeah, he's got that Mercury Neptune square too. So he's also a liar. Now, this is a guy who's a liar, right? Mercury Neptune square, I talk about that a lot. Some of you may have it, and you're not liars. You don't outwardly lie to people, but you will justify things to yourself and take other people off the hook. OJ's a liar. He's an out and out liar. But he did profit tremendously from the family that he married into. As I mentioned before, Nicole Simpson's dad set him up with Hertz. Huge deal. OJ was a star, man. OJ was the first black African American to break through into Madison Avenue from the athletic world. He was the first guy. OJ Simpson was Tiger Woods before Tiger Woods was Tiger Woods. He was the first. I mean, if you just look around to see who else, I mean, he was telegenic. Uh, he was pretty articulate, and all the other athletes prior to OJ. Have you ever listened to Willie Mays talk when he was alive? Willie Mays wouldn't have been a good spokesperson for your product. I'm just saying. No offense to Willie Mays, but not really. You know, in basketball, what are you going to have? Bill Russell, angry Bill Russell, represent your product? I don't think so. I don't think so. Reggie Jackson comes along a little bit later. He's got the Reggie bar, Mr. October. He's insufferable. OJ's the guy. OJ is the guy who paves the way, leads the way for so-called black African American athletes to cross over and have commercial appeal. He's the one. He's the first one. He's the guy that does it. And now, all we have is OJs. All we have is OJs on commercials now. Thank you very much, OJ Simpson. Okay, that's it. We're done. Thank you all for being here. You know what to do. Support our sponsor, True Hemp Science. Also, coming over to 15 minutes. Got a lot to say today. And I hope you're ready to hear some of it. Take care of yourselves. Treat each other well. God bless. Bye for now. Robert Phoenix signing.